redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. Bring up to my section, VIP. We ballin' out tonight. We say that we love Jesus, lady. We out defiling Christ, addicted to that lying life. Say this now, but do that later. Sunday was my Christian life, my momentary motivator. Feel like I'm a perpetrator, hating on my own creator. Author of confusions and my actions was the illustrator. Christ is my defibrillator. Praise him now, fake him later. Fake cafe is on the rise. Young, true, keeping greatness. I be touches in the building, boy. I swear this thing legit. Our motto is professional services at your fingertips. Stick with this until my CEO. I respect this hit. Living my lifestyle similar to Christ out, cause I know this got me fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. Fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. Story I sing, the title with the king. Yeah, I'm fresher than the others. You can say that I'm redeemed. You can see him on me, you can see him on me. Cause all I wanna do is dance for the king. Young, fly, say with a lean. Read the Bible, John 3:16. Yeah, I got swag and I live for Elohim. I hope you like my music cause I do it for the teams. I'm fresh team with my skinny jeans. The bread, I like boy, no sesame. It's right there, I like boy, that's a foolish thing. I'm standing on the corner with my Bible, I'm redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed, fresh redeemed.
All right, and this is Swahili.
Gotta be the best. Give me change about the way I'm living. Okay. When I'm in the spirit, boy, I swear that's when I speak the best. I'm waking up swaggers, keep the way I dress. Fresh from my head to feet, walking in authority. My swagger is essential to the body like an artery. Apologies to all the swagger jackers out there watching me. Swaggers on redeem to all the robbers, ain't no robbing me. I'm probably one of the hottest artists in the industry, but in the ministry, I'm just as equal as the man with me. Until TAP is in the building, and they know it's us. We screaming TAP on every track, so they know it's us. Yeah, it's the end of the mixtape, people. I want to shout out Noah for the cover, my Dog Nation boy for the production. It's crazy. You already know what it is, man. It's brainstorming, and this is only the beginning. Yo, I'd like to thank y'all for listening to the mixtape, vibing with the mixtape. Yeah. Looking for the mixtape. Yeah. Downloading the mixtape. Okay. Just loving the mixtape. And telling somebody else about the mixtape. Hey, man. God bless y'all. We love y'all. Yeah, thanks for vibing with us.
12, 13, 14, 15. Right on time. Caught the squats this morning. Grand rise. Good morning. I gotta start my oatmeal. I'm late. Okay. Get your water. Got that sea moss. Got your oatmeal. And get this water. Get that little water in.
Hello. going to teach you how to get great ideas for your business. Rule 1. Make sure everyone in the brainstorm thinks the same.
My theme song, Fresh Redeem. Ooh, let's get that first bottle of water down.
I'm fresh redeemed. I'm fresh and redeemed. Yeah, I'm fresh and redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed and redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed. Fresh redeemed. Fresh redeemed. Fresh redeemed. I'm fresh redeemed. Fresh redeemed. Fresh.
Get the first bottle in, y'all. No procrastinating this morning. Good morning, social media world. Make sure you guys like the show, share the show, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Let's see where we at. All right, so I hope you guys are feeling challenged this morning. So good morning, peace, power, and profit. For those of you out there who got them trades together, already traded and made your bag, peace, power, and profit to the money cracks. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all doing your thing. You talking about I'm getting old. Hey, this is somebody has to age at some point, right? Make sure you're sharing the show. How about that? How about you get yourself up and out and you do something productive this morning and get your blood flowing? Okay. So that's where I'm at. Let me get this stream out. Make sure that everybody has access to the information. This is day 8. Let's go. I know you guys are out there. There's a lot of individuals who are out there who are actually who are participating. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed that you all are out there and that you're inspired and motivated to do your thing. You know, uh it warms my heart to know that a sister's not alone. So yeah, I'm ecstatic. It's that everybody's joining in. This is a good challenge, right? Because many people out there challenging, and they're doing pictures, which is cool, showing um the young and the now and the then, so to speak. And that's really fun. I want you guys to really get in and start paying attention to your health and fitness and making sure that you're taking care of yourself as well. And so this is my challenge. Up in the morning early, getting in some hydration, finish this water. Getting that water in and everything. And whoop, there it is. So my little theme this morning is fresh and redeemed. So how fresh can you be? And you can't get fresh unless you got some live, as y'all would say, y'all are eating right, okay? Ignite that body, energize yourself so that everything can line up. Get your activity in, laying in the bed all morning, no purpose, or dreading to go to work. Maybe if you start your day off right, get up in enough time, stop doing those 20 minutes and I gotta be to work. Get up at 8:30 and you gotta be to work at 9. Get up at 8, gotta be to work at 9, and you gotta get kids ready and all of that good stuff. You're a little behind. So, get back into a good routine, start to get yourself up and moving in the morning. I'm gonna probably bump my time up, even though 6:30 is still probably when I'll hit the live, but I'm gonna bump it up a little bit because I wanna start implementing some more self-care and take my time and enjoy meat in the morning. So that's gonna be my the extra that I do. So I probably pick up the live. I know. You probably like, shoot, girl, you already doing 6:30. What you doing? So as it begins to get a little easier, I want to continue for it to be a challenge, and so I want to implement, add some things in. Maybe you know, I'll, once I get up and groom myself and take my time and get fresh, as the song say, in my skinny jeans, and I get ready for the day, you know, I start to add some things in. Um, if you, those of you who have a home, or maybe if you live with someone, that you start to tidy up your environment, everything straight and right before you leave the house, so when you get back, it wouldn't be such a rush and a stress for you to get it all together. Okay. Maybe you'll start your meals for your kids early. If you get up that extra time before they get up, you have lunch ready. If they're doing virtual, a lot of kids aren't even getting the proper meals and nutritions, because since the pandemic and being home and virtual, the parents have to readjust. But one of the things that they didn't take in consideration, baby, you got to cook for your kids. Okay. At school, they're getting at least 2 meals, maybe 2.5. Some, in many cases, if they do it after school care, they're probably getting 3. You can't shut them down to 1. It's the same concept that we're talking about, that we have to eat more often during the day. You definitely have to make sure you keep your kids right. I'm stuck on the conversation of what the behavior that happens after you start to get these proper and nutritious meals. Let me get this CMOS in my oatmeal, then start to cool down. So a lot of times you all have your babies, and they label them ADHD or whatever they call it, ADD, all these different titles, because they're hyperactive, or they're moving around too much. And let the truth be told, you're filling their bodies with all of these sugars, whether you're giving them processed food, y'all quick cookers out there with them that box meal y'all like to cook, that hamburger helper with all that pasta in it, all the starches, maybe start to consider the same thing you're doing. So we're on day 8. And so at some point, if you're following and you're watching along and you're participating and you're creating your own fitness challenge, now at this point, it should kind of have gotten just a little bit more easier for you. So now you got to start transferring that down to your babies, or maybe your significant other, if they're not already there. Watch the behavior starts to change. I am literally stuck right there on the behavior mode, and you being able to mobilize and energize yourself and your household to have a much more fruitful living environment. Maybe you things are tight or tense around you. Let's put this into play. Let's do it. Let's do our own scientific project. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. For those of you out there, that's a challenge, and maybe y'all got some communication deals going on, or maybe y'all in that category, she changed, he changed type of deal. And, you're looking for something to kind of turn it around and spark and put that honey back in the moon, or maybe gain that relationship with a daughter or a son, or, or niece, a nephew, or grandbaby. Let's do a scientific project on yourself. Let's put it to test. Now that you're up and moving, you're exercising, you're releasing some of that tension and the toxin out of your body, and you're rejuvenating it afterwards with some live foods that you decide to eat. Maybe you got some fruits and vegetables. Maybe you're juicing, right? You're getting your greens in. Now you got 52 days. Okay. You got 52 days. Let's put some things into practice. Let's make this out of a science project. Let's see if your environment changes. Those of you who are okay, I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna look for that. Brother African Emporium, shout out to you. I'll look for the spelt oatmeal. Let's put it into practice. Let's see if we could change let's see if we could change the atmosphere in our home. Now, for some of us that are the only one in the house, okay, maybe our project would consist of probably our mental health and how sharp we are. So many of us, like, we're probably really productive, but at some point we probably were able to accomplish more and check the block on learning, as far as being much more detailed or on time, so to speak. So for me, my project will consist of, I'm gonna bump my time up, and I want to be able to do a little bit more in a household before I start, and be ready and very energetic. For others, I would like for you all to work on the conversation with your significant or your child and the behaviors, and make it a little bit more smoother transition from waking up, from the time you wake up into lunchtime, and then maybe you can move it up and watch those behaviors change. Seems a lot of tension. The pandemic, some people haven't. Hey, good morning. Some people haven't got into the mode of having a good routine with the individuals in their household, and so it's just like a push pull effect. Take you too long to warm up or get happy about being where you are. And so, yeah, let's put it into practice. A lot of information has come forth in the last 8 days, from activity, how it makes you feel, how it motivates you to get your day started. And many have talked about the foods, and how if you get that all together and you're treating your body right, you're inputting those things in your body, that it will cause you to feel different, cause you to think different. In return, it will get you up and moving, right? Eating to live, so to speak. Moving around to stay active, to live longer, okay? Not too often we hear the behavior. And Angie was the first one to talk about that, and it kind of stuck with me when she talked about with her boys, and the difference in behavior, and so for me, it's playing relevant in adults as well. And so let's put it into practice, right? Let's not be afraid. Let's not worry about the cost. We could do, you heard on the last show, at the very end, I would challenge you to go back and revisit, especially the end, when the brothers and sisters start to speak about what you may have in your home right now that could get you started and off to a good start. One of the things I had to do was, I had to come out the pocket to change your behavior, because I had to get the support. I couldn't just get the mediocrity. Oh, I'm here for you. I'll participate in your workouts. I'll join you. And one day you're here, the next day you're not. One day you're sick, the next day you're not. One day, all that in and out. That wasn't going to work. So one of the changes I had to make was to budget in, so that I can have consistency. So consistency had been a challenge even in my own pursuit. And so I began to I began to budget in. Gotta make sure people that I'm adding is real people. I begin to budget in an opportunity to get consistent support. And so what that did was that I wasn't able to, I guess it wasn't Garfield, right? Y'all didn't want to see, I want to see Garfield. Garfield's not here. Okay. I begin to do better because having someone accountable in their profession, they're going to be where they're supposed to be on time, which causes me to be on time. They're going to uh, have a plan and a guide that you'll follow. So right now, I've probably been training. I started training 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and then stopped training due to a split in occupations from my first trainer, and then I started training again the last 7 to 8 months, 7 months. And so consistency matters, and I haven't gotten enough training to do it by myself consistently. So the stubbornness in training that body to automatic react still isn't there. And so the push-pull effect for me is, okay, you got to make it a lifestyle, and this temporary stuff is not working for you. And so you have to get to a point where you're allowing the training to train your, not only just your body but your mindset, that mental health. uh the Chandra brought that in. Melanie the goddess spoke about it as well. Other sisters and brothers talk about it in detail. The the don't fight the process. So you're your own victim. You're hurting your own self because you're bucking against what you're supposed to be doing automatically. Like it should be automatically for you to, get up in the morning, have a normal regiment going on, and that regiment should include exercise and proper nutrition. We've gotten away from that because we've gotten away from it because we became our own adult. No one's watching, and over time we've become very mediocre. And so it's hurt us. It's hurt me. So I've gotten through day 8, and I have to bump it up a little bit because I want it to be a lifestyle. I want to be consistent. I want to be not as fit as Deshandra. Well, fit, yeah, but probably not as much, as, she got it going on. So but I do want to, I want to look good naked, so to speak, like they say. I want this body to be popping, but it to be healthy, it to be vibrant, it to be so energetic that when I walk in the room, it beams and it ignites folks. Like they're like, yeah, what is she doing? Yeah, that's that. I want them heads turning. Yeah, all of that. Yep, I'm on some bougie mo stuff shit this morning, y'all. What y'all doing? Y'all really quiet. It's Monday, I know. Where y'all at? Let's get it. I don't want. Well, good morning. Yeah, I don't want just the summer body, Gary. I want the all body. I want the year-round body. I just want to step just because. Like, I want to be stepping in my pajamas. In my onesie. Go ahead, Deshandra.
Morning, Mo.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I'm actually, like I told you, I'm out of the gym for a few weeks, so I'm actually starting to get back into it. So if you hear this loud noise, I'm doing my little treadmill because I got to build back up. So I'm trying to get in. I got to baby steps. So I went from running 3 miles a day to now I can only walk briskly for a while. Like I say, sometimes you have to give your body time to recover. So my goal today is 20 minutes on this treadmill. So.
All right. So when you think about some of the stuff I just said in reference to training yourself to be consistent with a daily regimen of activity, eating, and then transferring that energy to the family, making sure they're getting the same thing, and everybody harmonizing in the house.
That's true. I mean, without consistency, nothing. I mean, think about it. People work. I'll use that as an analogy. People work every day. You have a routine. You get up at a certain time. You know, you have to start at a certain time. So you make sure the kids are up. You make sure you're up. You get there. You got breaks at a certain time. It's the same thing with your health and your lifestyle. A lot of times people roll out of bed and no time to get out. I think we've gotten into the hustle and bustle of life. And I really can appreciate the pandemic. For anybody who's lost someone, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I can appreciate it. I don't know about for others, but if it's allowed me to slow down.
Yes.
And that's a lot of the things that we've been doing in the haste. And I think that's why people are being more conscientious of their health. And you can see with the kids being home, you're feeding them all this bad food. Angie made a good point to that. Like my son, I I don't buy him anything really in a box or a bag for the most part, but he is a kid. So I allow him to have certain things, but I don't buy frozen TV dinners. I don't buy Hot Pockets. I don't buy pizza in a box. I don't buy those things because that stuff is filled with so much preservatives and stuff that break down. My son don't eat McDonald's. I'm not judging anybody, but it's just as quick for him to go in there and make a turkey sandwich. It might not be the best, but I'd rather him to eat that than us go get a Wendy's $5 bag.
Mm.
So, with that being said, it is about consistency. It's about us slowing time down and making time for ourselves. We make time for everything else, but we don't make time for our health. And it's very important that you make that time. You create a plan, you get consistent. Like you said, Mo, sometimes people can't do it on their own. They're with the plethora of technology we have, you have access to online trainers, you have access to online programs, you have access to recipes online. We have to put in the initiative because what you put in is what you get out.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. Like it's so necessary now. It's so necessary now that it's kind of like going over some of our people's head, that it needs to be done because you said it best, and I've been saying that since the pandemic started. I'm like, oh man, I'm able to get a lot done. I'm able to change up some stuff, do some things differently. Um, and for most folks, it's like, oh man, the whole world stops, the whole life stops, and you were really able to revamp, reconsider how you actually go about life. Like it really gave you a gut check on what exactly are you doing, especially with your own kids, right? Too many people were relying on the school and institutions. Like we fuss about what's available in the schools and what's available in the schools and institutions and how they're being trained, but it gave you the reality check that you are relying on the schools and institutions to raise your babies, and they're doing that. And how do we know? Because when the pandemic hit and you had to make some changes to your lifestyle to accommodate, because that 8 hours those babies were gone, or the 7 hours those babies were gone, you were just literally just in your own world. And now that they are available back in your forefront, you have to create a plan. You have to create a plan. But let
Yeah, and
me
that plan involves their food too. I mean, because if you get consistent and you're eating right, like even when I meal prep, everybody don't meal prep, but I meal prep. But I got to the point where I prep my son his lunches at home because I'm working. I can't stop what I'm doing to fix him a lunch. So everybody has their lunches already ready.
yes, yes, right. Let me put a plug here. Give my sister a shout out. You guys go to her Instagram page, uh, the Chandra, and make sure you click the link and you vote. Vote. She's in this competition for this Ink magazine. She can win $25,000 and be on the cover of the magazine. You can get one one free vote every 4 days. So come to the page, go to her Instagram. I'm gonna post it in the chat, Dagger Squad chat, on the Facebook chat. Make sure you guys go and you vote, you vote, you vote. Okay. I want to make sure that I put that plug in throughout the live stream, and so that you all can get that in. Let me get this link again, so that we can support, especially when our brothers and sisters are doing great things out there. So let me share that link. Angie, are you there? Oh, she must be with the kids. Good morning, Sherry. Oh, she's there. Go ahead. You will unmute it. Okay. Good morning, Sherry. Are you up and vibrant?
Was I unmuted?
Yeah, you were muted, Angie.
Okay, good. No, I was coaching one of our newest members.
No.
So I had him live, and he didn't, and I'm so sorry. I forgot
to go ahead. You can go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. He's in the video. So later on, he might say a few words. So he's in the Zoom right now.
Oh, we got a guest. Okay.
We have a guest.
Okay. So, good morning, Sherry.
Good morning. I'm moving. Getting ready to go to work, y'all. My work day starts in like 5 minutes. So I'm getting it in. I'm listening. Did my 20 squats, drinking my morning smoothie breakfast. So I'm getting it in. For me, it's all about mindset. So that's what I'm working on for 2021, the health part of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Well, enjoy work today. Find out something good for me. Okay, so who else we have that has joined us this morning? We're not gonna make this stream very long because I know it is a work week for many, and I definitely won't take that from you all. So hi.
Okay, hold on. You got me here, but I'm still in the bathroom because everything is working too well. That's Jaime.
Who's that?
Gringo. That's my friend, Gringo.
Hey, Ringo.
How you doing?
Gringo.
How you doing? You hear me?
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good morning. Yeah. You know, I had a question.
Okay.
You see, I'm gonna just, Anjanette, I'm gonna just tell her, you see, I've been gone 29 years.
Okay.
And God bless me. President Trump commuted my sentence right before the last set of individuals. That's me, Jaime Davidson.
All right, Jaime, congratulations. We're glad to have you back amongst us. How about that?
That's right. Thank you very much. So you see, the same thing, like I was working out yesterday, so I decided to do some crunches. And being that we've been locked down on the COVID out there where I was at, I wasn't doing that much because they wasn't doing the showers regularly. So you want to maintain, you see? So it's like you got to balance yourself inside there because it's like they leave you there and, hey, yeah, it's rough. So now I started doing 40 crunches back to back. And then all of a sudden, my intestines, my inside just knotted up and I jumped up like, oh my God. You said, oh my God. You see what I'm saying? And then I started breathing. I said, man, what happened? I'm like, so I asked Anjanette, I said, hey, can I ask her that question? Because it happened to me also when I was in there, because I'll be working in the school, so I don't have that much time to be going out there and stretching and, so I just go in and do 1, 2, and then I started doing a lot of crunches, you see? So I wanted to know if you have, if you could tell me, or any one of your viewers knew why that happened to me. You see, because I got to get myself, because I'm an artist, so I'm trying to get myself back. You see what I'm saying? I got to get myself back. And then the love that I've been getting in Panama, you see, as the founder of reggaeton, you see, the reggaeton music.
Yeah.
He started it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well.
that's why nobody never knew who's the founder. You see? And let me tell you something, you know, whose work helped me get the girl that what's Kim Kardashian,
Alice
the lady
Johnson?
that Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
Alice Marie Johnson, you see, got the attention. And Jeanette made me a change.org page. You see, and the daughter was scrolling through it, and she seen my name, so she started reading through it. Then she started seeing, going back to the evidence that Anjanette, the way Anjanette set it up. So when she finished going through my whole page, she ran to her mother, said, "Mommy, you gotta listen. You gotta take Jaime's case. You gotta take Jaime's case, mommy. You know, but it's a case of violence." So the mother said, "But he's innocent, mommy. Look, all the evidence is here. All the evidence, you know, they put all the evidence out there." And she called my lawyer, and everything went history right there. You see. Then she said, "I spoke to her yesterday. I spoke to Alice Marie Johnson and her daughter Katina, you know, to tell them thank you. You see, because I had 3 life sentences plus 85 years.
Jaime,
you know,
Jaime, real quick, because we definitely are gonna get more into your story, like in another, like a little later, right? Let's not like we're gonna. But what, as far as the fitness part, right? And thank you for saying that. I'm so humbled. I love you. I will do it again. Like I'll do it 10 times. But and we got to change that petition right now, by the way, regarding
I just wanted to
COVID-19
know.
in the
I just wanted to know that from her. If somebody could, I just wanted to know what happened.
So as far as the knots and the stuff, before anybody chimes in, I just want to say one thing. If you eat anything before you work out, your circulation.
Nah, I didn't eat nothing before.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
So
eat nothing
now,
before I worked out.
all right, that was my little suggestion. If you do eat anything before you work out, your circulation will be trying to break down whatever you ate and break down that food. So you might get contractions, strong muscle contractions, or even a Charlie horse when that happens. So anybody else can add into that, then boom, you can help out.
I mean, you could be having muscle spasms. It's very important that we stretch, and it's hard to, even as an athlete, I'm bad at stretching. Sometimes when you make sudden movements, first of all, I'm not a physician or a doctor, so I definitely would get it checked out to be sure. But sometimes there are so many muscles in your body. Sometimes you can make a sudden movement, and that crunch is a sudden movement. And what it does is it can cause that muscle to go into a spasm, or as Angie said, it's like you get a Charlie horse in that it's not necessarily your intestine, it's that muscle, and it will have you doubled over in pain. I've done it several times when I've been training really hard. And like I tried to go and soak in the tub, and I made that sudden movement to get up, and my whole like right side of my stomach, but sometimes that muscle can get overworked and it can get knotted, and you have strands of large muscle and smaller muscles. So it's important that you stretch, and doing that, I know sometimes we want to jump into things. However, the body is not designed to jump into things. We have to ease ourselves into these exercises. You want to check that form and that technique to make sure you're doing that crunch properly. And in addition to that, it's not about doing 40 back to back, back to back, back to back. It's about, can you do 20, take 30 seconds to a minute to rest, do 20 more. You might have to do 10 sets to get to the goal, but 10 sets is better than doing 40, then doing 40, then doing 40, then doing 40, because you're not giving that muscle time to contract and expand. But like I said, I'm not a physician, I'm not a doctor. I would recommend, if it continues to happen, get it checked out first, just to be on the safe side. However, I do think that's what it's attributed to, because I've had them before. And like I said, as an athlete, I don't stretch the way I should.
And Thank you very much. It makes a lot of sense, because thinking about it every time, because I'm always on time, and I just jump into it. Like what she just said, I just jump into it, and then I wanted to do 40 back to back, and that's when it usually happens. You see, so I'm gonna take that suggestion.
And you
And
know,
some stretches you can do, Mo. Sorry, Mo. A stretch you can do is called, it's really called the Superman, but like you basically lay flat on your stomach. People don't know this is an ab exercise as well, but you can lay flat out on your stomach. You hold your feet up and your hands up at an angle, and you can stay that
Yes.
way for like 30 to 45 seconds. It's not only going to stretch your core, but it's also an abdominal exercise.
Okay.
and you know, I think it also goes that this is where the nutrition come in as well, because you know, when you get um the heat, you know, you got heat exhaustion, heat cramps, and then you pass out, right? From what is the word? Dehydration.
Yeah.
Body may be dehydrated.
Okay.
You may not be getting enough. Merely just information, not medical advice.
Yeah.
Body could be dehydrated, and so the more you do, you know, your body's. You probably have you ever felt nauseous, like in the beginning process, and then now you getting cramps, and then, you know, because if you're if you're not getting the proper nutrition, or you're not getting, your body is dehydrated, you're gonna get cramps, you're gonna get stomach cramps, because you're not getting. That's why you see we got the water going, you know, getting hydrated, and whether you're getting the hydration from your foods or you getting it from the water source, it could be a part. And because think about it, I think just let's talk about it a lot. The good, you know, a lot of dietitians, everybody who's into fit, you know, everybody's talking about what are you eating, you know, you got to get the proper nutrition in. And so the more you do, whatever you had stored in you is probably
Yes.
gone. So your
Yeah.
body's
Okay.
fighting against, you know, you're trying to build it, because in your mind, I got to get me some exercise in. You just jump, you know, you started, you're doing it, you're checking the block, and you go about your business, and your body experience like, hey, okay.
Okay.
You're burning up all the source, and it's gone now. So since
Okay.
you ain't replenished, let me get your attention, and now let me start fighting. And so it's fighting there, in my opinion, because when I played basketball when I was in the military, and we used to have, you know, I thought that I could just bounce up and just go and do whatever, you know, coming off a whole night's sleep,
Yeah.
nothing to eat, nothing to drink, popping up 15 minutes before it's time for me to be in formation, get out there, and then you look again, I'm like, oh God, why am I? Because you're not properly preparing the body. You're definitely, you know, that mean you're doing those core exercises as well. You don't, and I'm not sure, one of the products we're taking in the morning with my oatmeal is the sea moss. And
Okay.
wanted it, and sea moss, it has 92 minerals out of the 102 you should have. And so this is just one of the herbs that we're, you know, that I'm adding. This is what's been working for me and kind of keeping me in line in reference to you know, nutrition, and having all the vitamins, minerals that you need. And
Okay.
I have I have my vitamin C. I have some turmeric. I got ginger. I have cod liver oil. I have omega 3. So, you know, if you're not replenishing, then something's bound to ache somewhere,
Okay.
especially if you
Okay.
started doing the consistency. And because you started a core workout, don't forget you activate muscles you haven't activated in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
So,
You're
you
right.
know,
You're
you
right.
up and new. So you're gonna have a little pain. So you're gonna fight the soreness of the abs, and you're also gonna probably have some nutrition thing going on. And so, and I would definitely, you know, if you could consult a doctor in reference to, but they only gonna, you know, when you go to the physician, they're gonna run the test. If it's not something that easily stands out, they're probably not gonna say nutrition, right? Um,
Yes.
you if you're if you're suffering dehydration, they'll give you an IV to try to replenish. But you know, that whole idea, the simplest things as getting proper water intake.
Okay. Okay.
That was a good point, Mo.
Yeah, because listen, coming from the military standpoint, Motrin and ibuprofen was okay. Give us some Motrin. Okay, give us some ibuprofen. Okay, give a
That
pregnancy test. See, we're gonna have a show on some feminine issues, but I don't think it plays far away from what kind of guys y'all probably have a different type of issue you deal with. But one of the things that I know I experienced is that when I was having abdominal pain, right? The only diagnose they wanted to see to kind of keep them off the hook from going deeper was, are you pregnant? Give her a pregnancy test. If that pregnancy test came back negative, give us some Motrin. Motrin don't work. Okay, give us some. Let's try the ibuprofen. Oh, ibuprofen don't work. Give us some Tylenol 3s. Okay, that don't. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't treating the symptom or even exploring it. It was just pampering or putting a Band-Aid on it. And so I can appreciate the nutrition conversation for something as simple as some water and a proper eating some live foods to get your day started or to implement. And just always remember, can't beat the body up and don't replenish. Now, in the replenishing stage of it is what we're talking about daily, is what are you replacing? Because you're going to burn the energy. You know, you may grab an orange or a fruit or something that kind of gets you up and going. You may even have your sea moss and your oatmeal, whatever you're eating, right? But then you're going to go exercise, you burn it off a little later. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an intense exercise. I'm on a treadmill, I'm on the elliptical, I'm running, I'm lifting some weights. It doesn't even have to be that. It's you moving around, doing your daily chores in your home, and you burn off the source that you've had earlier during the day. So what's next? Are we engaged in something? Are we going back to the starchies? And now, guess what? You wake up in the morning and you begin to commence your activity, and then you're like, oh man, it happened again. Okay, what did you eat? And the only time I used to pay attention to what I ate, y'all, was when I was playing sports, because I knew I was not going to last 35 to 45 minutes in that basketball game if I ate pizza the night before. Or I ate, that bad breakfast that morning. So I would rely on fruits and salads and things of that nature because I wanted to be able to outlast the game. And it's funny how that works. If you know you're getting ready to get into something intense, you will watch what you eat. But if you're having a daily wake up in the morning, do your normal activity, you would not do it. You would grab anything and you would think that it would sustain you and that your body will function properly, and it doesn't. And so you probably it may be dehydration.
You know something? When you were saying it and you kept waving the bottle, I kept saying to myself, I said, boy, she just smacked me in the face, because that's something that I always be struggling with, drinking water. You see, drinking water, that's something I'll be struggling with, drinking water. So now I gotta and I didn't drink water I usually, I didn't drink no water. You see, I didn't drink, but now that you show me the sea moss, I'm gonna, because we usually drink sea moss and isinglass in Panama. That's what we do, sea moss and isinglass. So
wow. Now what's isinglass?
That's another, I'm gonna find out from my mother, but I just know it's sea moss and isinglass, and I'm gonna have Anjanette tell you and show you how to do it, because it's sea moss and isinglass, it gives you a lot of energy.
Isinglass is another ingredient that in Jamaica we use for the sea moss. It's another herb. I think isinglass might be another type of another form of moss, but I'm not sure.
I'm gonna find out though.
Yes. They lit in the chat, man. You gave shout out to everybody on social media who's decided to participate this morning. We got our brother African Emporium Peace, power, and profit. I know you out there getting them trades in. 2021 Chaz, peace and love. Of course, Angie, who's on the panel. Michael Leonard, hey, shout out to you guys. Melanie the Goddess, Wagwan, Gary Moore. Peace and love to you all. Those who also watching out there in Facebook world, make sure you guys like the show, share the show, and subscribe. See if you guys got any cool remarks. We're not gonna go very long this morning. It is Monday. It is a payroll week for Monica Lamb, so we can't be spending 2-3 hours in the morning. Gotta get some work done today. On Monday, gotta get some people paid as well. But I want to make sure you guys, Chandra's blocked off her Wednesday at 6 p.m. Sisters, brothers, you need to be educated as well. We're going to get it in. We're going to talk about this endometriosis, these fibroids, and what to look for in reference to probably symptoms, treatments, and get some knowledge in, because it's very important. Okay, we really have to dive in and stay on top of these things. And so as we have those individuals who have experience with them coming out to share, so if you have someone in your AO who may be experiencing this, that you guys can get on top of it early. So make sure you get ready and stay tuned on Wednesday Urban Economic Empowerment Show at 6 p.m. She's going to be our guest. I'm going to line up. We did some shows in the past. I did it with Brother African Emporium in his circle of sisters and brothers, and who definitely into health and wellness. And he's going to line up some things, and we're going to get we're going to get this right in 2021, or get some people motivated and headed in the right direction. And so, as I stated in the beginning, it is the simplest thing that is keeping us from moving forward. It is the simplest thing that's keeping us from moving forward. And that's because it's so simple that we ignore it. We don't check the block with it. And so because of that, it's starting to plague us. It's starting to plague us. And it's causing us, our bodies to be out of whack. Okay, and so instead of us fixing it from the initial source of what's going on, Jester says that a lot to us on the streams, go to the source, and the source is your food. Okay, so I'm gonna use his words this morning, instead of us pricking into the source, so that we can stay active and doing what we need to do, so we can take care of our mental health and our fitness. We are patching it up because we have easy access to those things that make it worse. And I see my brother African Emporium jumped in the building this morning. Good morning.
Peace, power, and profit to all you beautiful people, all you beautiful melanated people doing the work of your ancestors, right? Being active, right? We are active people. I don't know why African they got sedentary. We done got to the point where we just don't want to do that when it comes to being in nature anymore. So what you guys are doing is like ultimately motivating for a lot of people, because I think one of the sisters said it earlier. One thing that COVID really, really exposed in us was our health, right? Our health and wellness. And we saw a lot of our people suffering from these little minute issues that we could have fixed that affected us with this COVID stuff. Being hydrated, right? Having proper, vitamin D, right? Synthesis from just sitting in the sun, stuff that we just kind of get somewhat immune to a degree. Like we scared to even get a little darker, right? I don't want to get a tan, now all that kind of silliness, right? So we've gotten away from our basic, our basic biology needs, right? Just from that perspective. So again, this is motivating, seeing you ladies just, and gentlemen too, with the gentlemen on as well, because brothers definitely need to step it up as well, right? We get to a point we think we just, we still can just, hang with the best of them when we get older, but it don't work that way when the body starts shut down. So health and wealth is definitely, I should say, it should be the new wave that we all aspire to be focused on. We saw that with the pandemic, how it really helped us get focused on our wealth, endeavors in terms of being able to get invested in these markets, to be self-sufficient, to make our own money. Because one thing about life, you need that duality, you need that balance. And I tell people every day, when you can make your own money, guess what? That frees up your time to live life on your terms. You can do the things like getting up and working out, not to feel like you got to go rest in, to please, a job status or whatever the case. And I know we got to crawl before we walk, of course, in that, but do believe there should be an end goal to what you're trying to accomplish, to have freedom the way you need to have it. And one thing about that is being able to, again, procure your own money. And so we're going to keep obviously hammering that, preaching that, if you will. I really want to get back and doing the health shows like we were doing once before, Sister Monica. Those were great segments, right? Then the brothers came in and tried to beat everybody up because they just wanted to go back to eating Popeyes and tell you that it's pseudo, right? But one thing about Mother Nature, right? Mother Nature comes first. You can't beat it. It's going to outlive you. It's going to survive you. So you might as well get on board and realize that your source of vitality is in those herbs, it's in those plants, it's in that sunlight, it's in that water, right? It's in that fresh air. And sometimes we starve ourselves in those things thinking we can just be so overly, scientific that we pretty much commit, cellular suicide, I like to call it. Cellular suicide. That's right. Not putting the proper stuff into our body that the cells need to sustain itself with. So again, I'm a proponent of that. I have a ton of things I can share with the family, not over you guys' head. This is basic stuff that we just lost our way on. So I look forward to that. And any way I can help to bring awareness to what you guys are doing. Because I think it's important, right? Your village matters, right? Your team that you have, around you, that support, like you said, is a commodity. Support is a commodity, just like time is a commodity, right? And it'll show eventually, in terms of whether you getting support or not. Because again, you shouldn't have to feel like you got to go through this alone. Not that you can't, but it's better when you got other people, in that fight with you. So I just look forward to adding whatever little bit I can. So let me know when y'all want to do some shows when it comes to the health side of that. I'm all with you, right? Cooking, showing items, whatever you need, I'm there.
Yes. We so Brother African Pori, you want to do it in the early mornings or you want to do it on the Wednesdays?
We can come up with something. I guess we'll come up with a little strategy, whatever. Because the one thing I always know, what I do know, because obviously I do this as well. I was doing it for clients, is that we have a hard time trying to distinguish what's good for the body, especially when it comes to breakfast, right? Somebody can either formulate a vegetarian lunch or a vegetarian dinner, but they don't understand the power of a vegetarian breakfast, right? Like, what is that? Like, get away, get down this around me, because I don't, I ain't no eggs, no bacon, no grits. I don't want to talk to you. But again, like you guys were saying earlier, which y'all noted to be true, if you weigh your body down with those heavy starches and those fats and those greases early in the morning, what does it do to your body by 10, 11, 12 o'clock? You're going to be sluggish, right? Your body going to be shut down because we're trying to process and break down all that heavy grease and starch and everything else. And you be like, oh, man, then you're going to pump yourself with sugar. That's going to compound it, right? You'll need a coffee or something. So, again, what we do, we don't understand that we're just basically, again, degrading our body, right? Our energy level. So we're zapping it by taking all the oxygen away from our blood, with either a lot of sugar or a lot of salt. So health, again, nutrition as a whole, just the ideology behind it and the science behind it, is something that we need to really get back into as well. Because again, ain't nowhere in the world these people talking about some running up on black folk with all this craziness, and we can't even defend ourselves because we we overweight with chitlins and greens and everything else and don't understand. On a funny tip, but seriously, health is wellness. Again, like the sister said earlier, you want your kids to emulate what you're doing, right? You want them to imitate your good habits, and so they're basically mimicking what you're doing. And so you can't complain if they just sedentary, don't want to go outside, and they gain a little weight here and there, or they're just not active in a way where benefits their body. And so again, we have to really get in the mode of thinking more like, it's time for us to upgrade our survival value, right? Beyond just kind of waiting on somebody to, to be reactionary. So progressive values do matter. And so whatever you guys want to do on that tip, like I said, if you want recipes, we got breakfast recipes, stuff that you would never even think. Like I saw you saying eating oatmeal. Well, obviously grain or wheat oats are obviously, there's spelt oats that's even more nutritious than the regular road oats that you get from, oatmeal. And a lot of people are like, well, man, but you'll be surprised it tastes the same, if not better. And so a lot of the things that you used to, you can actually supplement, or I don't even use the word supplement because, again, Mother Nature in the whole perspective is not a substitute for nothing, but there's other things that you can eat that'll be comparable to what you already think you've been eating that's healthy, and you will not even miss the difference of thinking this, because it's this or it's that. So I implore you guys, seriously, if you guys want to, round robin on that some days, let me know. I'm all for it. I love being a part of the village.
Well, Brother African Emporium, you're gonna have to help me cook them oats. I've tried them and I can't cook them right.
I got you. Oh man, man, look. When it comes
Yes,
to
that's the
roll
first
spell oats,
show.
get them organic roll spell oats. I tell you, you would, man. They taste way better than wheat oats. Wheat oats.
I can't cook them. I mean, I know they do, but mine never come out right. You know how you're not used to cooking a certain thing. So
Right.
I can't wait for this. Yeah, because some things
I
I
got
don't
you.
think is that
Trust
we
me.
don't eat it because you don't know. You don't
Right.
know how to cook it the proper way.
But and see, it's different because it lets you know that
Yes.
regular wheat oats are already bad because it takes 2 seconds to cook it. Like
Yep.
nothing in nature gonna give you such a quick instant effect like instant grits. Like no, that's not how real grits even cook in this deep south. Like hominy grits, even the old school ones take a little longer, right? Same
Mm-hmm.
with wild rice. Wild rice take longer than what? Instant rice. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Because nature has a process where it's gonna take a little heat to break it down. Hence the caloric intake that you get from all these pseudo foods that we're eating are saturated with trash because it really ain't nothing a whole lot of, nothing to hold it up. It's just a whole lot of glue, right? Gluten basically. But good foods, obviously, whole foods, they hold better in your system and they break down more pliable. So you're not overly, stressed and, gassy and things of that nature. So man, you'd be surprised. I tell you, them spelt roll oats are wonders, right? So I got you. Whatever you need to know on that level, we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's start with the breakfast. Let me get the grocery list so I go buy my stuff for
Oh
the
yeah,
breakfast.
so much better. Like avocado eggs, and again, get your rye or your spelt toast in the morning as opposed to wheat bread toast. Again, we talking about whole grains, right? Things again that break down in the body and give you a better nutritious value and not necessarily heavy on the body. Again, they got, even if hard trying to get off that, that pork or that, that kind of meat substitute, there are things out there that you can eat that are comparable, that are plant-based, that are again totally better and taste good. So, one real quick, some of our people out there love bacon, right? Of course, the biggest and the best bacon substitute out there, that king oyster mushroom. I guarantee if I made y'all a king oyster mushroom BLT sandwich in the morning for breakfast, y'all never go back to eating pork ever again. I guarantee it tastes just like pork and it's super healthy and way lighter. And
Now
so
I
it's
don't
just,
eat pork, but I definitely want to try that.
trust me, I'm not kidding that to you because y'all know I don't do a whole lot of sensationalism. Y'all know that's not my style. I don't do a lot of sensationalism. I'm only gonna speak on the experience because I understand it. And just like Sister Monica, I was prior military too, so I've been around a little bit. And one thing we realized through those journeys and experiences, things that really, stick with you in terms of that you can pass on and share with your battle mate. You want to always do it in good conscience and and not, give them, you ain't selling them because you are partaking in that same reality. And so it's good. You'll be surprised, literally, ladies. Y'all be so surprised. But yeah, I'm here, man. Whenever y'all want to do it, I'm there.
Yeah. So you're gonna so oh, okay. So the Chandra suggested that we do the cooking one on the weekend, on a weekend morning. The weekend mornings. It'd be better for some
Yeah,
people.
like I said, whatever pliable for you ladies. Like I said, y'all know I'm adjustable in those things. And like I said, that'd be great too, because again, when you're doing it on the weekend, you got to, everybody ain't feel like they rushing, and so you can get your kids involved. That's really good because you teach kids how to, cook healthy. And again, you talk about, king oyster mushroom. You just put them on a little parchment paper, sprinkle a little, pink Himalayan sea salt on or whatever, and just put them in the oven on bake, and just go on away sound like you be cooking bacon. And it's a vegetable, and it's healthy, right? Because again, mushrooms itself loaded in copper, and many other, values. And so again, it's just a lot of things that we just have no clue that's out there that'll take you to a whole new level of nutritious intake value, and it's less heavy on the body, right? You're not stressing. And so you don't, again, in terms of having all that grease, sugar, and water and all that mixing together, you're like, man, I don't even want to move after you eat them big breakfasts. We all done been there in the South. So I'm there. Again, whatever it takes to kind of support the village, I do believe it's worthy. So I'm there.
Yes, I'm excited. Yeah, because I know Deshandra said something very key. Is that it's not that we don't want to do it, we just don't know how.
Don't know how. That's our biggest Achilles heel, for lack of better terminology. Think about that. Y'all know Black people, this stuff ain't new to us in terms of our historical value. It just we lost our way. The same way we got lost in the South with slavery. We lost a lot of our habits that were great, that sustained us for so much. And we picked up new ones also within our survival tactics, right? So it ain't nothing new that we can accomplish or get back to. We just have to learn how to be a little bit more resourceful, and we have to be committed to change, because that's the hardest thing for anybody to do once you done got comfortable. You know, one of my biggest saying, all right, he that is most comfortable is least likely to change. That ain't nothing but the truth, right? You get
Yeah,
comfortable, like, man, look, it can wait.
yeah, I know. And then you be like, I'm gonna do it at 1. Then you're looking at, I'm gonna do it at 8. Oh, I do it tomorrow. And you're gonna
Yeah,
get a month that pass by, a
that's
year.
how it just be, zapping by. And so again, again, like I say, having that support system, that's like larger than life, because again, that's that. Hey, you ready? Right? You ain't got no choice. Like, get on up. Come on, let's go. I know you want to sleep in today, but let's go. All right? It's a benefit to that. So I
Yeah,
think what you're doing is very, very powerful, and it's gonna grow just like we grew to a little, a little investment community. It's gonna grow the same way when the health aspect too, because I think people need it. And I think now, with the way that this guideline thing is going with this pandemic, we know that that's a extra layer of combating that by having better health, having open lungs, at least not already kind of stricken lungs from bad eating habits. A lot of our people that died on our side of the fence was what these pre-existing conditions:
yep,
clogged arteries, lack of vitamin C, lack of vitamin D. Again, again, all the other stuff. A little bit, y'all know this thing. We ain't got to sit there and placate. We know what's
yep.
going on out there, so we can change our numbers too to reflect, a better sustainment just by doing some small things that we already know we can.
Yes, I know. I remember. I got to get Ujawu on here too, because Ujawu was definitely a big health fanatic. He 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 had said one time, he said you could tell you could tell the health of someone by just looking at their skin. And so, boy, I'm
Yeah.
gloating on my skin with that. See, I was like,
I know we used to do the shows back in the day, man. We do them shows, the health show, like I said, before they ran us off. Hey, Ujai used to jump on there. We all be going.
yeah,
Then here comes Sean and Garfield, with all that want to eat type
yeah,
eyes. I'm like, ooh, this is the problem. So we got to get serious. Y'all getting serious, and you got to think about that from that perspective. Y'all know, especially just proper hydration, what it does for the skin level. Your body is what? How much percent of your body is water? Think about that. The fact that you don't drink water replenishes, your cells are already crying like, look, if you ain't gonna put no water in my system, we just gonna dry up, and these little blackheads gonna pop up, these little whiteheads gonna pop, and you're gonna be looking older than you really is. That's because you dehydrate, you starving your body like a corpse. I mean, this is simple science that we'll lose and get lost in the sauce. So I heard the brother was saying earlier he need to drink more water. Well, the reason why that becomes an issue too, where you feel like it's out of sight, out of mind, you don't really miss it, because you're not sweating. The fact that you don't sweat, the fact that your body feel like it don't need to hydrate, and so now it's like you just kind of slowly starving your cellular level by not putting water back in your body. You just go for the sweet stuff. All right, let me get that sweet stuff. There's some water in there. All right. Thing, right? Like Dave Spence said, sugar water purple. What's in it? Sugar water purple.
water purple.
We need to put water by itself. Let that be the star, the main star of the show. And again, it'll benefit you more. So I always tell people the first thing you put in your mouth when you wake up in the morning is what?
Water,
Water.
water. Yep,
Water.
that's my 3
I couldn't
vitamins.
say it fast enough. Water.
That's that. Every nutrition on the planet gonna tell you that. I don't care who you is, who your root doctor is. They're gonna say drink some water first thing in the morning, because your body go into a homeostasis, shut down like a small hibernation, and you'll say everything go down like a shut down a little bit. Your lungs and heart. You gotta put that water in, that jumps out there, because water in itself is what? A form of what? Liquid electricity, so to speak. You got to jump off all your organs, then you go to pumping all the other stuff. All right, some jokers
You
wake up
know
in the
one
morning,
thing
go
I
straight.
oh
Go
sorry,
ahead.
African born. You know one thing that brought to my attention too that I've started doing, and I've been doing it for about a year, and I just really realized it us sitting here. I don't buy paper goods anymore. I don't know about anybody else on here.
You
You
say
know, people
paper
use
good?
micro. I don't eat off paper plates anymore. I don't buy paper plates. I don't buy plastic forks.
Yes.
I don't buy paper
Nice.
cups.
Right. Habit.
The
Right. Makes you
food
have.
tastes so
Yep.
much better.
Oh yeah. Even something like that. Something simple as that. That's why when you mentioned about having an issue with cooking the spelled oat, the best way to cook them obviously is in a ramekin, right? You know the little obviously ceramic.
Yeah.
You put that joint in
Yeah.
there, put it just not in there, and throw the thing in the oven and go about your business. It'll cook itself.
Mm.
True story. You got to sit there, stand over on the pot, and stir all it and all. You put it in the ramekin and put just the amount that you need, the amount of liquid you need. It'll cook itself. You go work
Okay, so
out,
let me
come
go
back,
buy
and
me
it'll
a
be done.
ramekin. I'm going to buy one today. Mhm.
Yep. They got the small size that you can even portion control. The different size that you need.
Let me
But
put
that's
that
what they really
in.
made for, stuff like that, like porridges and oats, and stuff like that. True story.
What's it
No
called?
wonder I can't get it. No wonder I can't cook it like my grandma.
What's it
That's it. Yep.
called?
Because they used to use a lot of them. The ramekin, like I use like a ceramic bowl.
Like
Uh, they got.
I think it's
CRMAIC?
Mm,
I
Ceramic?
think it's RA.
Ceramic SER or
how to spell it?
yeah.
It's RA
Or
uh R
MEKIN.
spell it again.
yep, yep.
Or
MEKIN.
I
Oh,
cut
so just like the little
Yep.
condiment things, like say, yeah, RAMEKIN. So
or
just like when they make creme brulee in a sense.
Exactly. The creme brulee,
Okay.
any kind of frittatas. Of course they got vegan frittatas too. But yeah,
oh
anything. There you go.
these.
They even got them in cup size. See the cup size, portion size ones. You can
Mm-hmm.
you can portion size your meals just by the
Okay.
ramekins alone, and you can do what they call like an all-in-one, like a veggie bake, uh, or whatever.
Mm.
Right? You can put your little mushrooms in there, a little quinoa in there, a little kale in there. Put your little vegetable broth in there. Whatever you want, and let it cook itself, and then you just eat it. Like one
Mm.
whole portion. Seriously, I mean this stuff is so simple. But again, you know how it is when you used to just, y'all know black people, we got to have it all laid out, and so it takes away actually our time to really enjoy life, but we spend too much time in the kitchen, cooking things that don't necessarily give you a really good nutritional value at the end of the day, right? We go for taste as opposed to nutrition, but you can have taste and nutrition together if you learn how to what? Strategize and how to eat properly. And so I think that's where we keep losing because we want that old school, Southern comfort or that grandma comfort, and that's fine and dandy. But y'all know in this day and age, well, you know what? You can have it somewhat to the same degree. You just gotta learn how to substitute with something a little bit more wholesome. You see what I'm saying? So, the same way with greens, we do braised greens. We don't boil greens, right? You boil all the nutrition out of it. That's a no go, right? Learn how to pan fry your greens. You'll be surprised it tastes even more earthier and even more healthier, right? There's so many different ways. I mean, I'd be here for days, but I tell you what, like I said, get those ramekins. Again, really great for portion control. You can do fruit bakes in them. Just natural fruit. Like to say people like apple. Oh, I'm used to apple pie. Okay, well, cut you up some apples, put you some date sugar, coconut sugar on top of it, if anything, because you don't use white sugar. Sprinkle a little bit of turmeric on there, maybe a smidgen of ginger, maybe a smidgen of allspice. And if you want, you can cut up like some spelt bread. Of course, we're talking about whole grain bread, not white bread. Either the only ones out there are rye and spelt. Cut up you some spelt bread cubes on top of that. Put you a little bit of coconut milk in there. Throw it in the oven. You can have a homemade apple cobbler that's super healthy.
Mm.
No eggs, no cow milk, no butter. No, y'all would be surprised. I'm giving y'all too many secrets.
Hey, African Emporium, I need to set up an interview so you can create this cookbook.
Yeah, I can do this what we started doing before you go back and listen to my old shows, but we got on
Yeah,
resume.
me and my husband listened to some, and he was like, "Oh, he on today." I was like, "Yeah." So my husband said he follow you, and So yeah, I was like, "He on?" He was like, "Oh, dang." So yeah, but I see a cookbook in the making.
Oh yeah, this. I always say this is our lane. I don't know why we act like we not used to being adaptive to stuff, but it's not really far from our reality anyway. Because again, a lot of things that we eat once we get y'all not black people, we real regiment orientated. We rarely try new things, right? Unless you're just a daredevil, which ain't nothing wrong with that either. But once we get set in our ways, even we homogenize ourselves to certain foods. Now, ultimately, we know some of these things are just they comfort. They're good, but they ain't necessarily, the best for the body. So we say, well, how do I get the same experience without, giving up the taste, right? So that's supposed to go on what? A whole wheat boiled noodle, you get a what? A quinoa noodle or a spelt noodle, right? You can still have that same spaghetti, right? As opposed to using ground beef, we chop up what? Some cremini mushrooms, right? Or some portobello mushrooms. Get that same earthy little taste you would get from ground beef. The chunkiness, the texture is about the same. Ain't really a whole lot of different. Add your little vegetable to it. You eating a whole lot lighter and a whole lot healthier, and it's still filling, right? I always tell people the body is very universal. Once it feel like you got enough food, it's not gonna be saying I'm missing this 8-ounce steak once you full. It don't work that way. Think about that. Let's be honest with ourselves. We just convince ourselves, oh, I'm missing out because I don't have a big piece of steak up here or a big piece of chicken. No, when your body full, it's gonna be like, hey, back away from the table. I don't care what you did put in. Once it's done, it's done. So you gotta learn how to trick your body to go to the good stuff, and the damage still gonna be done in a good way, and not necessarily in a bad congestive way. Heartburn, gastric, intestines all backed up, you're bloated, right? Then it's like, you're irritable, you're like nice and heat flashing. This stuff is really elementary, guys. I promise you, it really is. And I've been on this journey for a minute myself. You probably can tell the way I even talk. But I learned this a long time ago too, because I also have a culinary background on top of other, expertise. So I was like, well, all you're doing is really applying something that's more healthier than what you already, think you're getting. It's the same reality. When the body is full, it's full. Think about that, really. And so you just got to trick yourself back into doing what you know is good for your body. So we got you though. You'd be surprised. You'd be so surprised.
Angie, you were gonna say something, Angie? What?
You always catch me when I'm like sharing or no, I didn't have anything to add. I'm really happy how the show is going along, and I'm just actually listening more this time. I didn't have anything to add. Everything is y'all are speaking what's in my head, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, Brother African Emporium. So the ultimate question is, what publicly traded companies sell these products?
Oh my God.
Right. Because you got to get paid when you get paid, right? Get paid health wise and get paid physically. Well, of course, there are some of them out there that are, of that echelon too, where you can benefit two ways, right? The other aspect of that is also, when you think about it, of course, because I'm looking for one day somebody gonna have to put this, they got CMOS dealers, of course, for lack of better understanding that it should be more of a universal thing for a lot of people. But I tell you, man, it paid. Even with that, the ideal of CMOS, like I always say, my mentality, everybody should have CMOS in the house. Everybody, right? To not have it in your house is kind of like, like an ultimate, sin, right? Because just the idea that what that one scenario gives you, as opposed to having a cabinet full of what pills and substitutes and help meats and all that, it just makes no sense. When the body is composed of 102, you get 92 in one setting. Think about that for a moment, right? How do we convince ourselves that's not a good thing? Show me anywhere that you really hear anybody saying, I had an allergic reaction to CMOS. You don't hear that, right? Think about that seriously. But I took this little pill, I had an allergic reaction to it. I can't take it anymore. I like, yeah, because it's chemical synthesis and there ain't nothing in it. So again, this stuff ain't rocket science. But again, we convince ourselves that no, this is good because they said it's good, and I can roll up in GC and buy this expensive mess when I can just get me some CMOS for a low lot less and get a low lot better pack from it, right? In terms of the health value. And so the things that your guys are doing with getting back in this regimen of getting your body active, well, you're gonna need to replace certain things and remove a lot of bad stuff, right? So the one thing most people deal with when it comes to cramps is, again, we talking about what lactic acid, right? That also aids in having bad issues with cramp. Lack of water, obviously, right? Too much salt, too much sugar, right? Starve the body, the muscles and the soft tissue can't replenish. You're gonna have a lot of cramps, right? It's gonna be contracting and locking up, basically. So you got how you eliminate that. You got to put things in that obviously balance you out. So chromium, selenium, again, the amino acid, removing the lactic acid away from the body. Get hydrated. Sea moss also is an appetite suppressant. I repeat, sea moss is also an appetite suppressant. Ladies, right? Ladies,
Ladies.
ladies, right? I know this to be true because women like to snack a lot, right? Right? And men just like to eat big meals, like one, big old giant meals, right? We'll snack when we can, but women just love the knick-knack snack. That's the thing with women. And so that sea moss is phenomenal for that. Like I said, the first thing you put in your body in the morning should be water. Right after that, you should have your sea moss, tablespoon of sea moss straight to the head, same way you would take a vitamin. Take your big tablespoon straight to the head, and then go about your business. That collagen that's in there is going to be good for your joints. It's good for fibroids. It's good for thyroids. I mean, I can go on for days, right? But hey, I'll save some for the next conversation. I'll keep y'all here all day.
Yes, indeed. Listen, hey.
So about those companies you were saying.
Yeah. So you may not like the Beyond Meat patties, but you can get that Beyond Meat, right? All right. Impossible Meat about to get ready to come to market soon. Of course, now I wouldn't definitely recommend Beyond Meat because it is definitely soy based. Excuse me, not Beyond Impossible Burger, because it is soy based. Beyond Meat actually uses pea lectin, right? So sweet peas basically has a protein source, right? So that's a little bit more better, but there's still some processed value to it where you're not going to get what you get if you just ate the actual plant itself. So the ultimate, in my opinion, scenario is just go to the mushrooms or the whatever you like in that perspective and eat it like that. But company-wise, food-wise, I mean, there are food distribution companies out there. You got Cal Foods, you got obviously Mondelez do more of a snack food stuff like that. They got it's a few other ones. I know I did a list a while back when we did the Beyond Meat. But again, it's the same thing. Like I always say, if it's not the actual product, you can always find the best in breed that is within the space. You see what I'm saying? If it's a publicly traded company, it's still a conscious reality. So I'm investing in my health and I'm investing in a company that's producing good product, right? So that's just how you got to look at it from an investor standpoint, right? You're still getting a bang for your buck, and you finding that one scenario that can really, drive your what they call conscious value investing. That's basically what they call it, right? Or ESG, right? Environmental social governance investing, where you feel like there's a more conscious aspect of where you're putting your money at. Because these are the principles, things that you live by. So health and wellness goes in that same reality. So people are like, well, I'm gonna buy Fitbit. Then Fitbit good for everybody. Well, Fitbit is actually a good little buy, right? Because Google obviously did what? They got involved to try to buy them out, right? So again, there's so many different ways you can look at it, but it's all empowering. And from that, we'll be able to kind of go, further with our decision making once we really learn how to balance good habits, right? With some of our old ones. So yeah, so you guys got it, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited that you guys are motivated to do this, and a lot of people can get involved. So I will be I see y'all go live when I'm up. I will be posting and sharing it because I think people want it. They just how black people, we're intimidated. We're afraid to ask for help until we direly need it, and most people are afraid to start such scenarios like this because they feel like they won't be able to kind of complete tasks. So they're like, I'm not getting fooled with it, right? But I think the way that y'all doing it is really good because it's going to attract more people and it's going to help you all get through it.
Yes. Hey, listen, we greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, every day gets better, And one of the things I want to point out is that you guys notice that we have a very diverse panel, and so we're on day 8, and so we have different individuals coming with different skill set that complements each other. But what I want to point out is the humbleness of those gurus out there. So Brother African Emporium definitely very skilled at what he does from more ways than none. You didn't see him overpower Deshandra. Deshandra's very skilled in what she's doing with a bodybuilding. She got results and transformation. Angie got a lot of knowledge in health and wellness as well. Sherry, she's bringing that knowledge from the veterans' perspective and support, but we all in many ways have different needs and are able to complement one another in reference to transfer knowledge. And then that's important because sometimes we have our gurus out there, fitness, wellness, health gurus, and they can't be on the same panel. And giving our info. We had Melody the Goddess on, who's into the mental health deal yesterday. Just Us, who's real into health and nutrition and eating right. My trainer pops in from time to time. My training session is later, so he'll probably be here later. I want Rob on to come on one day. You know, the fitness guru. You know, everybody's offering information that can help, and so I believe that if you can't connect with Chandra, then you connect with African Poor. If you can't connect with African Poor, you connect with Rabon. You can't connect with Rabon, you can connect with Dynamic 3D. You can't connect with Dynamic 3D, you can connect with Men Empowerment Nation, you know, Antonio Sessions. You can't. So everybody's times that they are available to start their transition is different. And so I appreciate the brothers and sisters who all have similar and familiar skill sets, being able to complement the conversation. And then definitely want to reach out to Sebu Jau with his knowledge. He does this care rap, and he did it offline once. He showed us how to do it, and oh my God, it looks so good. So I want him to come and show us how to make this kale wrap he does with all the healthy things. With Brother African Emporium talk about, he does the same thing. Like, he's so healthy. He be posting his stuff on Instagram. I be hating. I'm like, who made this? Like, I did. I'm like, oh my God, I need my food to look like that.
I tell y'all missing out, man. Y'all missing out.
Yeah. So
that's all right.
We got 52 more days, and so I'm looking forward to definitely the how to prepare the meals conversations on during the weekend sessions. So I appreciate you all taking the challenge to help us out in those capacities, and all of the motivational conversations and get up and go. And even Brother African Emporium, she's gonna come on Wednesday and do a show in reference to some feminine issues that a lot of the females are dealing with, and it's definitely going to be educational for the males as well. And I know in your circle and the wifey, shout out to the awesome colonel out there. She has peers who are into that as well, and so I definitely want to repeat some of those shows, if not more, because
y'all were building a good little pack, man. Y'all let show them coming in, tell y'all little.
Yes, I know.
Off y'all posts, as they say, they ran off y'all posts.
They did, and those sisters, from the doula to the chef to who else we had on? I think your wife did the cardio fitness deal. We had 4 shows, and we was getting ready to get into the cooking.
The cooking, we're just getting ready to do it too.
Yeah, so I know their days are probably very impacted with how they have to maneuver now, because they're professionals out there and they have to work. So hopefully we can line them up. Maybe they can stop in and come in on one of the weekends. So I'll be doing this until March the 25th. And then we always have the Wednesday shows. And so we're going to get right in 2021. And so we're going to pack urban economics with the money as well. But we also going to do some wellness. Look at your high five, Angie. High five. Yes.
Wellness.
Yeah, because if we can't enjoy it, we can't enjoy the money we make because we all broke, busted, and disgusted. You know, what's the use? And Sherry's already trying to get me down to Cancun, so I need to be right. I need to be stepping on the beach. I need to be in my little 2-piece. I need to be right. I'm gonna get.
I'm with you. See, there it is. Yeah, mine is too. I think they plan a trip for Jamaica in April, so end of April. Yeah, so I already know what it's like. We again, like you said earlier, it's like I think you referenced that you want the not like the seasonal thing. Like most people, we get healthy only for a season. It's like, you kind of go down, then you got to work hard to get it back the next season. So I'll make the reference like it's like all season weather tires, right? Them things work good around this any conditions, summer, winter, fall. And like you might want to be like an all season tire in a lot of ways. And we all, can take a playbook out of that and work on it, because like I said, this stuff, it does take you know, commitment. That's what, you know, again, it takes commitment. You know, we not getting younger. And, you know, the older you get, the more or less inspired you can become if you don't have the type of people around you to inspire you, right? Of course, you got to learn how to inspire yourself. Let's not get it twisted. You got to be self-motivated, right? But it's good to have a support system, as I always say, right? That's support is a commodity. Support is a commodity. That's a t-shirt moment.
Yes.
Y'all ain't hearing me right now. Support is a commodity, and good support, right? Not overpowering support, not overbearing support, not dictator type of support, but just, hey, I'm with you, right? Let's figure out a way to make it happen. That kind of support, that's the best type of support. Let's figure out a way.
On that note, that's the most powerful moat, baby. So, hey, I'm gonna get that t-shirt. Support is a commodity.
Support is a commodity. Y'all gotta own that. Seriously, think about that.
We got a new African Emporium meme. Yay.
That's a t-shirt moment.
Yes. So, again, appreciate everybody for joining in this morning, you guys, and I hope you all have a very productive day. I want to say peace, power, and profit. Y'all, let's get at these charts. Make sure you guys make some good decisions, do your due diligence, get your research. Brother African Emporium has mentorship classes, so if you need the ground basic work so you can learn how to fish, hit the brother up, inbox him, Willis Addison, or you can look up African Emporium, Google, you'll find them all over, and he'll get you on in. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Go to my channel. Make sure you are subscribing. I am going to probably do something this evening because I have to get the information out, the details of a lot of changes with the PPP and the EDIL. Not changes, but what you need to know in reference to. We've submitted some applications, getting some feedback, and show you how to maneuver in. I'll say this last point though: you make sure that whatever on that list they tell you to submit, you submit. Don't say, "Well, I have this. Maybe they should take that." I had a conversation with SBA on yesterday. Whatever is on the list, if you don't have it, you need to get it. They will deny you. Okay? So it's available. The money is there. Some of this stuff is not rocket science, but I'm gonna do a show on it, and sometime this evening, and go through it with you and answer whatever questions and try to get you guys online because don't miss out. Okay? But yes, I'm gonna end on that note that support is a commodity. So peace, power, and profit. And go out to my zone.
Peace, power, profit, everybody.
Your water in.
Peace, power, and profit.
You guys can drop off as you please.
It's the end of the mixtape, people. I want to shout out, no one for the cover, but Dog Nation boy from production. It's crazy. You already know what it is, man. This is brainstorming. This is only yo. Let's thank y'all for listening to the mixtape. Vibing with the mixtape. Looking for the mixtape. Downloading the mixtape. Okay. Just loving the mixtape.